The only thing they can do is to push it out. So there is a depression and the water goes in. Okay? The water goes in and they breathe the oxygen that is dissolved in the water. Like we do when we breathe. We bring air in and then out. If we breathe pollen, bacteria, viruses and so on, the defense system produces mucus. We entrap the invaders and then we expel the mucus. They do the same thing. They have mucus. With the mucus, they entrap viruses, bacteria, phytoplankton, detritus, and all these things. But then instead of expelling it through here, they use it for food. And so with the pulps, they ingest the mucus with all these things that are their food. They digest these things and they become proteins. They become the muscles. When do we get the hepatitis, viruses, cholera, and so on? If you eat the muscles when the pathogens are still in the mucus, then they are active. So they have to be put into places where the water is clean, so there are no contaminants or whatever pathogens. They ingest the mucus, they deactivate the pathogenicity of the microbes, and then we can eat them, or you cook them. In this case, this is an example of co-option, a system that evolved for protection becomes a system to feed. The mussels are the most sustainable food because they transform pathogens into proteins. If you are vegetarian, we need to cultivate the vegetables. This means that you take a piece of ground, you eradicate all biodiversity and you replace it with the only species that we want. You put fertilizers, pesticides, and so on, and then we eat it. You put these things into a place where the water is dirty, and they transform the dirt into proteins. So and they clean the water. So they are the most sustainable food on the planet.